Hi, I'm Samson Rainey from AGU, and I am at the Triennial Earth-Sun Summit, or TESS, a scientific meeting focused on heliophysics, the study of the sun and everything it touches. We're on the last day of the meeting, and the week has been jam-packed full of great discussions, not only on science, but on other important issues to the community, including advocacy, DEI, open science, the list goes on. And I'm really happy right now to be talking to Joe Westlake, NASA's Heliophysics Division Director, who just finished his session at TESS. So, Joe, thanks so much, first of all, for joining me for a little discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to.
Great.
I was happy to talk with the American Geophysical Union and you, Samson.
Oh, thank you. I think you've been a long-time member, have been to many of our annual meetings.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Since 2009-ish.
Incredible. Well, as some of you may know, Joe is the recently appointed director for NASA's Heliophysics Division. Joe, when did you start your tenure, and how has it been
so
far?
mid-January. I've been in the role for just about 3 months. It's been intense. It's been a lot of fun. It's been amazing to see all of the different work that we're doing across heliophysics. It's been, really enlightening to come out and chat with folks at TESS, to chat with folks at different conferences, to understand both the successes and the challenges that we have within the community, and being able to communicate and understand, real places where we can improve as a division and places that we can work together.
It must be interesting to be among your people here for the first time as director and kind of hear them out and build that relationship. It must have been kind of exciting for you.
Yeah, it really gives new energy, right? When you think about your ability to connect with everybody across the the division, across the different work that's going on. It's one of these things that I've been able to, really come out and try and understand where people are coming from in a different way than I did when I was just working as a scientist, right?
Yeah.
I can bring forward to some degree a perspective that matches or that is similar to the experiences that the folks in our community are having. But now I have additional understanding and experience from headquarters, which has been fascinating. And it's interesting to see the things that we're working on, the things that we're doing within heliophysics to try and support our community.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll be a strength from you, remembering what it's like to be on the scientist, on the academic side, and also learning the ways of the federal government and how it approaches science. So it's kind of a huge benefit, I think, of the community to have you on board.
Yeah, and I hope, especially right now, since I've only been 3 months in the job, that experience is very fresh in my brain.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the communication and a lot of the statements that were made today throughout this conference really are things that I feel in my heart, right? I feel as a former researcher, as somebody who continues to care about the research that we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, aside from all that talk, I know that just from the public perception of heliophysics, a huge week this has been. Monday was a solar eclipse. I can't think of any other celestial event that'll bring together really a worldwide community and learning about this particular science. How was your week? What did you do on the eclipse?
Oh, it was amazing. I got the opportunity to witness the eclipse from the Cotton Bowl here in Texas, along with about 10,000 people, a couple hundred school kids, the Ready Jet Go team, all sorts of different people across science, across education. I got to witness. This was my first eclipse that I was able to see the totality, and what a perspective-changing event, right? We spend all this time as heliophysicists thinking about the sun's impact on society, but to literally see the solar atmosphere with your own eyes is so impactful. To hear, a gasp come up from a stadium full of people was amazing. To hear, the laughter and joy of students asking, well, what's that? Hey, what's that little thing coming off of the, what's that prominence? How big is that? Did you know you could fit the Earth through that little hole in the prominence? Just
Wow.
The excitement that comes from that was amazing. And
Awesome.
and across the United States, we captured the imagination of the United States. It was such a great, impactful event. We had almost 20 million views of our NASA stream.
Incredible.
The path of totality went over 30 million people. There's 150 million people within 200 miles of the path of totality. Just the ability for us to show the impact that the sun has to your daily life was incredible, and just an amazing experience for me. I was just really excited.
Awesome. Yeah, there's nothing that prepares you for an actual eclipse. I saw one in 1991 when I was very young in Hawaii. It flew over. The Path of Totality. Did you see any other totalities before this one, or is this your first?
This is my very first.
Wow.
I've seen a couple of partial eclipses, but they do not compare. And in fact, I bugged many people to say, you better go to totality if you're close. Like, it's a really good thing. And I did not have that personal experience. I had just heard it. And from people bugging me over and over and over again, I finally did it in this experience. And boy, was it worth it.
That is awesome.
99% doesn't cut it. Full totality is the way to go.
Yeah, I was at NAS.
99% is still amazing.
It's still cool.
It's still cool.
I was at Goddard for 2017, and I was like, oh. Yeah, it was still good.
I've seen many partial eclipses, and actually, we talk about it's a little rough to say totality or nothing.
Yeah.
Being able to see and experience the solar atmosphere and the corona is incredible. But I'll say, one of the things that got me into science in the first place was witnessing an eclipse a partial eclipse in my hometown as a youth, and making a pinhole projector in a box and having a science teacher teach me about the things that you could see on the sun. That was a former solar maximum time, in which you could see with a little bit of magnification sunspots. You could see amazing things.
Wow.
And you ask questions like, what is that? Why does it do that? What is the reason behind? That's the youth. The questioning mind of the youth is something that science can really capture. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, the entire heliophysics community coming off of the high of that eclipse, you just finished a session with them, Q&A. How did it go? What were some of the major themes, and how did you think it went talking with your community?
Yeah, I think it was wonderful. It's great to be able to get feedback from the community. It's wonderful to get real responses, to understand where the pain points are within the community, to understand things that are going well and things that are going poorly. One of the things that I really want to be able to do in this role is to be able to establish trust within the community.
Okay.
And so having an openness and having some ability to communicate openly to the community is important to me. So fielding questions, understanding concerns, and being able to communicate effectively, what we're doing, and trying to, again, build that trust in the community is very important. So it was wonderful to be able to hear feedback. It was wonderful to be able to respond to some of it, and also, just hear what's going well and what isn't.
And I love the idea that there's so much enthusiasm within that room, so much enthusiasm this week from the greater public, really pushing the excitement of heliophysics and explaining to the public and those that have, the powers that be, that the sun touches everything. It's really, as you were saying earlier, like crosses all of the divisions of geosciences in some way or another. So I think that's powerful.
Absolutely. And we have such an impact across sciences. It's, really we serve at that interface between all sorts of different disciplines, and we connect them in a really wonderful way. And our folks are always looking for good ways, to bridge the scientific topics and to bring and build community.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. Well, you listed a number of things that are upcoming for the Heliophysics Division. It was an incredible list. So my question is, what does the rest of the year look like for you? What are you excited about? There's a lot going on. What do you think when you think rest of 2024 and really beyond to 2025?
It's going to be an intense year, right? We're towards the end of our heliophysics big year. The sun has gone into solar maximum. There's all sorts of excitement about the solar events. Yeah. Every solar active region has been proving to be interesting and unique in whatever way that it has been. It's provided us with aurora. It's provided us with all sorts of solar activity that's been fascinating to watch. Towards the end of the year, we'll wrap up our heliophysics big year with Parker Solar Probe's closest approach to the sun. But in between now and then, we have multiple launches on the docket, whether it be Escapade, Heliophysics' first mission to Mars, right? Or Sunrise, or Easy, or IMAP and Crothers that are coming up early in the next year. We have many, many launches, many, many missions to look forward to. And on top of that, we're just getting beautiful, new data down from the International Space Station and the AW mission. We're getting, wonderful new results from all of our operating missions. Just really, it's an exciting time to be a heliophysicist.
That's awesome. Joe, I really wanted to thank you for talking with me today. And I want to wish you and the community luck on all of the different launches, all the different science results that we're expecting from Parker Solar Probe and beyond. And I just want to say that I took away from this meeting the importance of heliophysics, the passion of the community that they have for the science. And I wish the community all the best, and AG will support as best as it can.
Thank you so much, Samson, and thank you to the AGU community for all the support and for for the interest in our work in heliophysics. Really appreciate it, and really it's great support.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Well, that is a wrap for our test coverage this week. Thank you so much for following us on our social media channels. Please continue to follow AGU's social channels for the latest geoscience news. I'm Samson Rainey from AGU. Take care, and until next time.